Hello, this is group 7. The group members are me, Asio Esther Eyoku, Aguti Rebecca, Atim Nora Chitara, Sechinde Martin, and Wanyama Yvonne. The coursework question is, using examples, justify and recommend a range of strategies that can be adopted by procurement and supply chain to support business continuity during the Covid-19 lockdowns and reduce future exposure of shocks of similar nature. To begin with, we are going to define the key words in the question, starting with strategy. It refers to a set of actions that managers take to increase their performance to gain competitive advantage over their rivals. We also have procurement, that can be defined as acquisition of goods, services, and works vital for the organization's operation, either by hire purchase, rental, franchise, lease, or a combination of both, or any other means of payment. We also have supply chain, which refers to a network of organizations that are involved through upstream and downstream linkages in the different processes and activities that produce value in the form of goods and services in the hands of the ultimate consumers. Supply chain activities include warehousing, logistics, distribution. They also do packaging and very many other things. The strategies that can be adopted by procurement and supply chain to support business continuity include the following. Sustainability. Sustainability here refers to meeting of our own needs as a generation now without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Here we take into consideration of the social, economic, and environmental factors. This can include the distribution of resources, how we invest, pollution, corporate social responsibility, human rights, and many other factors. This can be done by recycling of plastics, paper, and glass materials that save energy and avoid pollution. We have a case of Coca-Cola that recycles its bottles and reuses them, thereby reducing costs of remanufacturing the bottles and also avoiding the effects of pollution in the environment. If we are to dump the bottles anyhow in the compound, we affect the soils. Sustainability leads to long-term efficiency savings. It also reduces harmful impacts of pollution in our environment. It also leads to efficient and effective use of resources and generally a good image for the organization. Another strategy that organizations can adopt is agility. Agility here, we look at the capacity of an organization to respond quickly to changes in the market demand. This can be achieved through promoting information flow between suppliers, the organization, and the customers. It can also be obtained by holding buffers that helps guard against shortages and disruption of production. An organization should also be flexible. Like for the case right now during the lockdown, we find that customers or the entire community is demanding for things like masks, sanitizers, face shields. So the organization has to adopt by what is happening around. If the customer needs have changed, they should also be in position to change their operations, and even their products can change. We also expect them to develop collaborative relationships with suppliers and have a dependable logistics systems like we have Mukwano that has various vans that distribute their products to their customers. As they distribute their products to the customers, we find that they meet their needs at the right time, whereby they produce their products of the right quality, they are distributed at the right time, and the customers buy them and at the right time, and they yield profits. We also have another strategy of diversification. This deals with producing a variety of products aimed at meeting the needs of the customers. For instance, Mukwano Manufacturing Industry Steel produces a variety of products like soap, powder detergent, plastic cups, plates, basins, chairs, drinking water, cooking oil. They also have animal feeds. In that manner, you find that Mukwano has a wide range of products that meet different needs of different customers. Find that at such a time, Mukwano can still continue running because different customers are purchasing different products, and they end up getting revenue from all those products. Now from here, my colleagues are going to continue explaining other strategies.
I'm Rebecca, picking up from where the previous presenter stopped, discussing on the strategies that have to be adopted by businesses during this lockdown period so as to ensure business continuity. Just in time. This aims at reducing the delays and shortages by perfecting the time of ordering materials. The goal is to have normal materials at hand, but not fewer than an organization needs at a specific period of time. In such a case, the business has to ensure that raw materials are delivered in time to ensure continuous production so as to meet the customer needs and demands in time. Just-in-time streamlines processes, hence reducing shortage costs and then disruption of production. When materials are delivered in time, production will be continuous, and therefore customer demands will be met in time. Just-in-time also forces the business into an intimate understanding of its supply chain, and hence delivering more products to customers. A case in point is KFC that is Kentucky Fried Chicken, which makes deliveries after receiving customer orders. KFC produces perishable products which can't be kept for a long period of time, and therefore products like chicken, pizza, amongst others, are always produced after receiving orders from customers. The next strategy is digital marketing. It's a process of promoting the products over the internet. It involves advertising and displaying the product names, descriptions, images, and different forms in which the product exists. Say the colors, the sizes, and the shapes. Such products may be like the shoes, which may be for the children, the youths, and the adults in different colors and sizes. The dresses for the young children, the youths, and still the adults. This is done through Google adverts, Facebook adverts, Google adverts and Facebook adverts, whereby where a seller provides a direct link of a product which is specifically prepared for the intended buyer. A case in point is Coca-Cola and UMI, which have regular adverts on the different platforms. When such a product is viewed by the customer is encouraged to take a trial and then accesses it, makes an order, and delivery is made to the customer. This encourages the organization or the business to make more sales depending on the number of people buying. The other strategy is lean operations, which focuses on eliminating waste in production. Waste is anything that does not add value but increases costs. Lean operations improve internal functions, creating a productive and engaged workforce. That is to say, increasing profits for the organization. Lean operations can be achieved by reducing the number of suppliers, that is to say, dealing with a specific supplier which has been approved by the organization, then reducing the number of activities in the supply chain, removing buffers, which deals with holding inventory that may lead to holding costs to be incurred by the organization, which are wastages, and they are also wastes in the production process. Reduction of non-value adding activities, say very many people entering the same information. This can be done in a way that only a single individual does the entering of the data into the system. In operation lead to reduce cost of holding inventory. That is to say, when wastes are dealt with, say from the production, and deliveries are made to the customers in the markets, there will not be any inventory held in the stores or in the warehouses, and therefore reducing on the costs, and also delivery times because of the reduced processes, enabling better service delivery to the customer. Customers will be able to receive their products in time, right quantity, and the right quality. The other view is consortium buying, a strategy, a mechanism by which multiple organizations with similar purchasing needs band together to better leverage their buying power and achieve economies of scale from suppliers. It's a system whereby different organizations but having similar needs come together to procure materials for their organizations. This helps them to achieve economies of scale, reduced prices, helps them to reduce on the risks. Also, innovation may arise in the process since there is sharing of views from different parties within the organization. It leads to an overall reduction in production costs and hence fetching more profits for the organization, which helps to ensure business continuity. And therefore, organizations are encouraged to adopt consortium buying in relation to its benefits. The other strategy is global sourcing through electronic procurement. Large multinational companies see the world as one large market and source from many vendors regardless of the country or organization. Implementing a global sourcing strategy, which means efficiently sourcing goods and services from any country that can manufacture the goods and provide the service. Global sourcing deals with acquiring suppliers from all over the world, irrespective of the country of origin. The supplier may be providing a good or a service. For instance, DHL, that provides logistics services in different modes of transport, say air, water, and railway. They can adopt this and they acquire goods and services from whichever part of the world, since delivery will be made by DHL as a logistics company. I hand over to the next speaker.
To add in more strategies, we also have global sourcing through electronic procurement. Large multinational companies see the world as one large market and source from many vendors regardless of the country or organization. Implementation. A global sourcing strategy means efficiently sourcing goods and services from any country that can manufacture the goods or provide the services. For instance, DHL carrier services, which provide logistics services on the different modes of transport. We have water, air, rail, and road transport. Next, we have another strategy is outsourcing. Outsourcing is a business practice in which an organization hires a third party to perform tasks, handle operations, or provide services of the organization while it concentrates on its core functions. Outsourcing is packed with benefits such as freeing up resources that redirected to core projects or activities, shortened production times since third-party providers are more qualified in the execution of the outsourced tasks. For instance, a company can outsource logistics services from DHL. This supports business continuity since the logistics function will be fully operational. The next strategy we can also use is use of electronic procurement. Electronic procurement refers to the purchase and sale of supplies, services, works through the web interface or other advanced technological systems. It consists of tools such as electronic data interchange, internet applications, and platforms like e-sourcing, e-tendering, e-auctioning, and e-ordering. This can be used for communication with the suppliers to convey material demands as well as reaching out products to customers. This has facilitated business continuity since everything that can be done virtually. For instance, despite the closure of institutions of learning, for example, Uganda Management Institute is conducting lectures through the use of Zoom meeting, thus continuity. Next, we have building strong suppliers relationships. Businesses ought to promote clear, consistent communication with their suppliers on the basis of equal partnership. Leverage technology to mutual benefits where it provides a platform that supports and promotes efficiency and transparency. A vendor self-service portal, for instance, enables the vendor to review purchase orders, update information, submit invoices, and respond to requests. A strong relationship with suppliers also paves way for framework contracts and reduces time and cost of bidding. For instance, Mukwano Manufacturing Industries, they provide farmers who group seed crops in West Nile and Lira with seeds and insecticides and basic training on agriculture. However, this builds up a strong connection that low prices and hence continuity in production, since there are multiple suppliers providing the seed crops that aid production, and hence bringing into continuity in the business even in this COVID lockdown. I'll hand over to my friend to also continue from here. Thank you.
Just like my colleagues have discussed the other strategies, I'm also going to discuss some strategies like differentiation, which is an approach a business uses by developing other products that are unique, different, and distinct from other items that their competitors in the marketplace are producing. Differentiation can also be called rebranding. During this time of the pandemic, businesses should adopt this strategy to increase their profits and competitive advantage, because every company is trying its level best to sustain its operations in the market. We have an example of Uganda Breweries that has gone ahead to change the sizes of their bottles, and Move It also has changed their stickers to attract new customers. Another strategy that can be adopted is holding buffer stocks. This involves holding excess amount of raw materials in store to guard against any unplanned shortages that may lead to disruptions in production processes. Holding buffer stock helps an organization to continue its production and supply of goods and services to meet the customer needs. We have an example of hygiene consults that purchased a wide range of cleaning equipments as the lockdown started. This is to ensure that they never run out of equipments to clean for their customers. We also have risk management as a strategy that organizations should undertake. We find that companies mainly obtain their supplies from China and India, and in that you have to ensure that you guard against risks that will cause delays in your supply chain. When obtaining raw materials from such countries, an organization is in position to obtain very high quality goods at low prices. But during the pandemic, businesses can shift to local suppliers that are near their organizations to reduce on logistic costs and delays. As they use the local suppliers, they're in position to continually obtain their raw materials that they require for production and meeting their customer needs. And that leads to continuity of their business. We also have single source procurement, where some companies have decided to undertake these strategies that involves obtaining excellent dedicated service from a single vendor. This strategy is dominant when sourcing for indirect services and supplies like cleaning. In this case, supplier base is reduced so as to maintain and remain manageable, and reduces costs as well. We have a case of New Vision that has managed to offer the cleaning contracts to a single supplier. You find that it is very easy to manage the supply chain and collaborate closely with the supplier. My other colleague is going to continue with the rest of the strategy.
This is Sekide Martin. Adaptability. It refers to how quickly a company can implement strategies and initiatives based on market changes, customer requirements, and new opportunities. Or is a planned ability to react effectively when businesses and environment factors change unexpectedly. Now we look at the situation that is going on in the country of Covid-19. So we have to look for ways of how we can react to that to stay in the market or to stay in operations. Adaptability. This is done through creating flexible products designed to meet the present market changes after evaluating customer needs. For instance, the Directorate of Industrial Training, call it DIT, has adopted the use of technological or the use of robust system to carry out virtual assessments instead of the physical ones. This is done or emphasized because we have to observe the social distancing, meaning people are not allowed to interact in groups. So they have identified a way of continuing their work by keeping people at home working online. Also, we can have an example of UMI. UMI, as a big institution, identified that COVID-19 cannot allow people to meet, so they decided to create the platforms of where their customers can be getting the service. This is to say, they came up with the Zoom session where they do teach their people so that they can be satisfied during this COVID-19 situation or during this pandemic period. Adaptability. Yes, so I talk also about bulk purchase. This is an activity where an organization procures or purchase goods in large quantities at a cheaper or discounted price. During the lockdown period, organizations ought to look for ways to reduce costs, and one possible way is bulk purchasing. As a business owner needs to wisely choose the items to avoid costs of holding unnecessary stock and tied up capital. So, bulk purchase, this helps the companies like Amazon, it helps the companies like Jumia, it helps companies like Grovo. These companies identify that they need to satisfy their customers. But again, supply chain and logistics, it is a bit difficult during the pandemic. So they decided also to invest in purchasing in bulk to reduce on the cost, because when you purchase in bulk, you normally get on discounts. So they purchase in bulk, they rebrand them to the end user or the end customer, meaning they are cutting costs and then increasing on their revenue during this season of the pandemic, that is putting the country and the world at large on a stake. Also go to vendor management inventory. This is a supply chain agreement where the manufacturers or suppliers take control of inventory management decision for the seller or retailers. For example, Amazon, the third-party vendor send their inventory to Amazon's warehouses, and the company takes care of the rest from picking, packing, and processing customer payments to send it off for shipping. This fulfillment strategy has benefits for all parties. Amazon simply provides the channels to sell their products. Movit also manages its products in supermarkets that sell their products during promotions. Lato products are also managed by their suppliers to stock and restore in the supermarkets. So in conclusion here, procurement and supply chain has to be supported at such a time to ensure its continuity with the strategies like e-procurement, agility, adaptability, and many other to ensure efficient and effective operations, production of quality products to safety customers, and the organization maximizing profits for its continuity. Thank you so much.